Okay guys, so today this is going to be a special video. Now, the reason why it's special is because of the fact that I'm finally coming back for a little bit. Because I know for a fact, I do this for a little bit and then I disappear. And then I come back and then I disappear. Hopefully I can stay for a little bit longer so I can keep covering the stories in the murder app. Okay. So basically, today we're going to be talking about how to survive the Minnesota State Fair. Now, the Minnesota State Fair is the great old time. It's a great Minnesota get together right before it gets cold again and snowy and all that bullshit. So everybody likes to pop out. And when I mean everybody, I mean every fucking body, including the gangbangers. You know what I'm saying? And so if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe without further notes. We're gonna get this shit busting on God. All right, so boom. So rule number one, if you want to stay safe at the Minnesota State Fair, is to not gangbang. It's pretty self-explanatory. But a lot of times people just are followers. They're just some goofies, right? So they, of course, are gonna follow the gang. So if you in a gang, yeah, you better be smooth walking through this bitch. You better make sure you ain't got nothing going on that makes it look like you in a gang, because the police gonna be hot. They're looking for anyone that looks suspicious. You even throw your pee up, claiming that you PNV. That's your ass. I don't even feel still. Is that even still a thing? Is that really still a thing? I don't even know if that's still a thing. Is that really still a thing? You know what I'm saying? But basically, don't gangbang. Don't gangbang and you will be fine at the Minnesota State Fair, right? The civilians, when they see the Minnesota State Fair, it's just a regular old state fair. But to the gangbangers, that's basically a prison yard. You ain't got no switches, you ain't got no Glocks, you ain't got nothing. You only got your hands and maybe a knife at the most. So you can't go ahead and catch your op slipping and expect to blow at them with a switch and make them run and all that extra shit. No, you gotta face them head on. With knuckles, goofy. And if you don't know how to fight, that's your ass. They're gonna beat your ass. We're gonna see about it on Facebook, man. So if you don't gangbang, you'll be alright. You know what I'm saying? Be a civilian, stay out the way. Be cool. Get you some cookies or something, bro. But if you do gangbang, stay safe, G. Rule number 2, don't diss on the dead. I don't know what it is for some odd people, but they just feel like they got to diss the fucking dead. They just have to diss on someone. They gotta say fuck him, fuck her, fuck their gang, fuck their world, or whatever the fuck. And so they'll walk through, they'll go on Facebook, they'll post some shit, and then they're surprised to get shot at, or they're surprised to get beat up, or jumped, etc., etc., etc. Stop dissing the dead, okay? Maybe you're a white boy from the suburbs and you're like,
dude, what the fuck is dissing the dead, bro?
Okay, dissing the dead is when someone has lost somebody in a violent way, majority of the time, because some of these guys will just make gangs because their homie got killed, car crashed, or died in a heart attack or some shit. But that's not, all right, I'm not laughing at them. I'm not laughing at them. So I'm not dissing the dead. Let's say someone gets shot. Well, you know what? We'll do a scenario, right? We're going to do a scenario. So let's say Scooby from Scooby-Doo and the gang are minding their own business, right? And so Scooby, Shaggy, and everybody else in the gang, they're getting paid throughout Minneapolis. And, they're a part of a little clique. And so they're doing those shit, you know what I'm saying? They go into Gold Room, they got the pay, they fucking everybody being mama, they paying everybody being mama bills, and so, people get upset behind that shit. They get jealous and they're the most hated throughout the city. Until one day, Scooby says, I'm gonna slide on Lake Street, I'm gonna pick me up some packs. So he go on Lake Street, and somebody dressed in all black is waiting for him in the alleyway. So Scooby walks over to the alleyway. Before you know it, police responded to shots fired in the area of Lake Street. Upon arrival, they noticed the male shot multiple times. Despite life-saving measures, the male still cut. He's dead. He's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got shot and killed. He's dead. And so people are upset. You know what I'm saying? They're on Facebook. Heartbreak emoji. Girls are talking about my brother. Ooh, my brother, my friend. Ooh. All the time they was fucking. They weren't really like that for real. Yeah, that's funny because all the bots in the city want to claim niggas when they die, so they can just put them on their bio and shit, just goofy shit like that. So Shaggy. Shaggy, he gets news of the shooting. He's upset, bro. He's going crazy. He saw Crime Watch. He going crazy. And he vows to keep Scooby's name in peace. Anyone that disses on Scooby is going to have to see Shaggy. So ever since then, Shaggy's been on tip. You know what I'm saying? He on Bully. He on Tommen. If you even go his way, you even whisper about Shaggy. No, not Shaggy. Scooby, that's your ass, bro. And so, you over here, you on Facebook one day, and you're trying to impress a girl from Brooklyn Park. So you texting her, she's texting you. You guys are having a good old time. You're having some Minnesota love. And so basically, what happens is she says, "Did you hear about Scooby? That was so sad." And you over here, you thinking you a gangster. You think you the top G. So you over here like, man, I ain't gonna lie, Scooby ass a goofy. Fuck him. You know what I'm saying? And so she goes like, oh, boy, I know damn well you ain't say all that. So little did you know, she recorded the whole entire thing. So she gets into an argument with Shaggy one night, right? She's on live with Shaggy. Shaggy showing her peep. They're going back and forth. Shaggy fucked her back in the day and shit like that. So he thinking all types of shit about her. She don't like him. So she says, and that's why my homie said, fuck your homie, fuck. What you gonna do about it, bitch? And so she plays the recording of you saying, fuck Scooby, his ass a Goofy. Ooh, Shaggy heard about that shit, and ever since then, bro, he's been looking for your ass, bro. He looking all over the city for you. He asking the Somalis for you. He asking Native Mob for you. He's asking the Asians for you. Even the Liberians. He's asking everyone throughout the city about where are you, where your whereabouts are, because he wants your hat, bro. He wants your hat. And so he sees your story, and you at the Minnesota State Fair. So Shaggy walks up in the Minnesota State Fair. He gets past security, bro. And so he's looking in that motherfucker. White people staring at him. They're grabbing their kids. Honey, I don't like the way he's looking. Let's start leaving. Let's go. I don't like this. Let's go. And so he walks up to you, and he says, hey, you, Goofy, ain't you that nigga that was dissing on my homie? So you over here like, Shaggy, I did not know you had a Chicago accent. So he looks at you, bitch, I know you the Goofy that was over here dissing on my homie. What's to that? And so you over here like, bro, I was just joking, dude. I didn't really mean too much. And so a crowd starts forming. White people are starting to get ready to run. They're like, the blacks are about to fight again. Let's go. Honey, let's go. And so it's a standoff. You feel me? It's you and Shaggy, bro, in front of everybody. So Shaggy shoves you. Your ass is Goofy. Fuck your homie. Boosh. Pushes you. Now everybody looking at you. Oh, shit, bro. You want to let him do that? So, of course, you're probably going to get in the way. So you going to shove his ass back. Boosh. And so at this point, everybody, oh, they pulling out their phones. Bro. The Brooklyn Park girls right there. Bitch, you better beat his ass. If you don't beat his ass, I'm gonna beat your ass too. Fuck. And so at this point, you ain't got no voice. You gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fight. Because if you don't fight, everybody on Facebook gonna clown you. You know what I'm saying? Fatima Hussein gonna clown you. Right? Haji gonna clown you. Everybody gonna clown you, bro. So you gotta fight. And so you throw a punch at Shaggy. And you miss. And so Shaggy, he come through, it's him and the gang, and they beat your ass, they roll you. You know what I'm saying? You get stomped out with Timberland boots and shit. And so the police come through, they break it up, Bob Fletcher with them and shit. And he's like, hey, you little fella, why did they beat you up like that? They just stomped all over you. Who did it? And so, of course, you ain't about that life. You a Goofy from Eden Prairie. So you're going to tell them straight up, it was Shaggy and the gang. They beat me up because I said, fuck Scooby, his ass a Goofy. And Shaggy heard that shit, so he didn't want to, he went into a blind rage. He attacked you in front of Bob Fletcher. So Bob Fletcher trying to break up the fight. Basically, don't be dissing the dead. Don't be dissing the dead. Because now, you diss the dead, you get your ass beat, you snitch on the people, and then that's when they go and they laugh at you, and they post the paperwork on Facebook, and, everybody clown you as a Goofy. And, that's why you don't diss on the dead. All right? So don't diss on the dead. Rule number 3. Don't be talking to nobody's girl. I don't know why. Every year, whenever you hear about a fight that happened, a good portion of them has a girl involved. Because one thing about the state fair is that it brings all the baddies outside. And so they come outside, they get their hair done, they get their nails done, they walk there with their booty shorts on, and it's just booty shorts festive. I don't know why they wear booty shorts in front of, bro, this is, you know what I'm saying? It's the Minnesota State Fair. This is not Gold Room. I don't know why we have to wear booty shorts inside the Minnesota State Fair. You know what I'm saying? But we all do something, I guess. Well, I don't wear no booty shorts. I'm just saying. These girls, they be wearing that shit with no fucks given. They don't give a fuck who's watching. And so, let's say you over here, you walking through the Minnesota State Fair, you got some cookies, eating some cookies from Medea's or Madonna's, whatever the fuck it's called. And so, you walking and shit like that, chomping on some cookies and shit, and you see a bad bitch, you know what I'm saying? She by herself, light-skinned girl, she from St. Paul. So you walk up to her, you said, excuse me, miss, you look good, where you from? I'm from the east side. She said, so cool, so calm, collected. Oh, you from the east side, huh? I ain't gonna lie. Something about you east side girls, y'all so fine, y'all so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Half of y'all got herpes and shit like that, but I don't think you got herpes. I think you were a clean girl. I think you're a bad bitch, and I need you to myself. And so, little did you know, she has a boyfriend. His name is Quantavious. We're going to call him that, Quantavious. Yeah, we're going to call him Quantavious. So Quantavious sees you talking to his bitch. And he comes up to you and he says, hey, G, who the fuck is you? Why are you talking to my shorty? And so you over here like, hey, Quantavious, it ain't nothing serious. It ain't nothing serious. This my bitch. This my baby mama. What the fuck is you talking to my shorty for if you talking to my baby mama? So at this point, it's a standoff. You don't want to go out and look like a bitch in front of the bad bitch. But basically, you guys get into a fight. You know, you guys are fighting and shit like that. She's over here, she's screaming, no, stop, make it up. And so people are screaming and hollering, going crazy, recording for Facebook. You know, Jonathan Mason's over there, we're live, oh my goodness, we're live, oh. And so he's in the fight there too, he's yelling in his blowhorn. So the commotion gets Bob Fletcher and the gang. They're running over to the fight and shit like that. They're trying to break up the fight. You know what I'm saying? They break up the fight and shit like that. They're like, all right, guys, what's going on? What happened? Who threw the first punch? What happened? So you over here, bro, you a goofy from Brooklyn Park and shit like that. You like, hey, look, man, I didn't do nothing. That girl had big nyash, and I had to go and talk to her, bro. And so because I had to talk to her, she had a boyfriend. And the boyfriend did not like me. And I ain't like her. Not him. So I beat his ass. And so Bob Fletcher, you know what I'm saying? Bob Fletcher didn't like that. He didn't like that answer. So you get arrested and you get charged with disorderly conduct and PC riot at the Minnesota State Fair. And so he goes ahead and he tells her, why did you wear booty shorts at the Minnesota State Fair? Are you stupid? And so she's over here like, I just thought it was beautiful. It's going to look good on me. And he's like, no, boys will be boys. If they see that and you have a boyfriend, he's going to get upset. And if he gets upset, he's going to fight. And he's going to fight whoever's talking to you. Why the hell are you wearing booty shorts at the Minnesota State Fair? And so it comes to a common conclusion that at the end of the day, when you over here at the Minnesota State Fair, bro, and you see a girl, you know what I'm saying? Mind your business, bro. If she approaches you, you can talk to her. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't going, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going to be doing her like that now. We're going to keep it player, you know, get her phone number and shit like that, but keep that shit brief. Don't be doing too much now. Don't be trying to talk to her and try to sit down and, you know, have a conversation about her life and as to why she moved to Minnesota of all places from Gary, Indiana. I don't fucking know, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to talk to these girls, bro, just make it brief. Get your phone number and keep it pushing, bro. Don't make it into some drama if it don't got to be no drama. You feel me? And last but not least, don't be on no nigga shit. Now, I know this is pretty self-explanatory. Well, what do you mean don't be on nigga shit? Do you mean to tell me that niggas are just going to be on some nigga shit? No. I got to stop saying that word before I get my shit demonetized. I mean, I'm already not getting paid enough. And I ain't trying to eat no damn ramen noodles. And so I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get paid doing this YouTube shit. But until then, we just going to keep doing it how we do. And so, yeah, don't be on no nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be walking through that bitch and making eye contact with people who can turn eye contact into a situation out of thin air. Don't be bumping into goons and goblins in the Minnesota State Fair. And last but not least, don't be stepping on nobody's Jordans, bro. Just stupid shit like that. It's the smallest things that can easily tick off the right person, right? You bump into someone at the midway, they push you push him, you fight. Bob Fletcher has to run back, break it up. Now you're going to jail for PC riot and disorderly conduct. And you ain't got the funds to bail yourself out. So don't be doing that, bro. Don't be on no nigga shit, man. You know, if you want a scenario, man, you know, as we're wrapping up the video, we might as well go and do a scenario real quick. So let's say you're walking through the Minnesota State Fair. And Jonathan Mason is in the Minnesota State Fair. Now, Jonathan Mason, he's kind of feeling a little bit black today. He's blacker than usual, bro. So he's walking through, and, you know, he's got his hat on backwards and shit. So he's walking with a little pep in his step. And so he sees you, and you see him. So you a white boy. Shit, that's where you fucked up. And so he sees you, he's like, what are you looking at, white boy? Huh? You want some of this? And so you over here like, nah, Jonathan Mason, I don't want no beef. You will see him, you know, you a good brother. And Jonathan Mason, he looks at you and he says, I ain't your brother, bitch. And so everybody's looking at you like, God damn, bro. Of all people, Jonathan Mason, he's about to tee up on him. Jonathan Mason is going to tee up on him, bro. And so you stick your hand out in solidarity to show that you have no problem with Jonathan Mason. He smacks your hand. And so at this point, everybody's looking at you like, ooh, you gonna let Jonathan Mason do that to you, bro? So Jonathan Mason's like, man, you ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? You got the bullhorn in your face. You can barely understand what he's saying. It's just spit flying in your face. And so at this point, bro, you're like, fuck it, bro. I'm finna fight Jonathan Mason. So you and Jonathan Mason start fighting at the State Fair shit. So people are screaming and hollering. The commotion gets Bob Fletcher and the gang again. Bob Fletcher and the gang is getting annoyed. They're upset. They're like, yo, guys can't do 2-3 hours without fucking fighting. You guys keep fighting for no fucking reason. So they break up the fight. Bob Fletcher breaks up the fight. He looks at Jonathan Mason. He says, Jonathan Mason, you son of a bitch, why are you fighting? And so Jonathan Mason's like, man, I was down with the brothers today, and I had that white boy that want to come in my face, that cracker, and they want to say that bitch-ass shit about me. I don't like him. He's a bitch. Power to the people. And so Jonathan Mason's getting held back by like 25 cops. They're holding him back, bro. The power of Wakanda's in him. He's trying to fight. He wants to fight more. And so Jonathan Mason gets escorted out the Minnesota State Fair, and you manage to go back to the State Fair. You're fine. So Bob Fletcher's looking at you like the victim. He's dusting you off. He's like, look, son, you know, there's a lot of N-words around here. I can't say the word just in case the press are watching. The Fox 9 News, you know, Reg Chapman, all of them are watching. So, son, be careful, all right? Especially after dark. That's where we're going to have a lot of issues. So be careful. Don't step on no one's shoes. And just be good, son, all right? Be good. And so you look at him. He looks at you. He winks. He gives you that wink that you know for a fact you're safe when Bob Fletcher is in the Minnesota State Fair. And so you live happily ever after. You get to get on the rides. You get some more Midori's cookies. And so you finally get to go home. You get to pull some shit, and she's over here like,
oh my God, you've been beat up like 3 times, but something about you says that you just keep listening because you've seen a YouTube video online about how to survive the Minnesota State Fair. And I know you got beat up like 3 different times, and I saw it on Facebook like 3 different times, but I think that you are that man, and I'm going to go home with you.
So you're a happy man, bro. You get to go home with a girl from Minnesota at the Minnesota State Fair. And that's how you survive the Minnesota State Fair, man. So if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and talk for the notes, for the dip. Stay smooth. And for PS, right before I sign off, bro, Jonathan Mason, Bob Fletcher, and whoever the fuck else that I mentioned, this is all jokes. Calm your bitch asses down. I know someone's going to be already just upset. They're going to be sending it to Jonathan Mason, Bob Fletcher. They're going to try and find out who the fuck made this video. And you may never find out. Maybe in the future, but not right now. Not right now. Not right now. Okay? Not right now. But other than that, I'm saying, I'm finna go to the Golden Room. I'm finna pull some shit. It's actually on, what day is it? It's actually Tuesday. Golden Room go on Tuesdays? I highly doubt that Golden Room goes on Tuesdays. Maybe gay nights. Maybe Vanquish. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
We've had gangs coming to the Minnesota State Fair for 30, 40 years. But they've always agreed the fair is neutral ground. And let's all go have fun and respect the fairgrounds. We've had Hell's Outcast, Hell's Angels here. The Hell's Outcast used to hang by the pickle stand. I've been here for many, many years, but we've never had threats of violence like we're having from the Somali gangs. We will have Karen gangs, we'll have some Hmong gangs here, we'll have some extremists on the right here. But none of them are promising chaos except for the Somali gangs. We sent 233 letters to kids that we know have had association with some of the other gang members. And really it's a warning letter. We're going to document your activity, and that can be used against you later in some court process. The problems have always stemmed from the Midway. And so our staffing is increased dramatically after 7 o'clock in the Midway area. This fair behind us, I've been coming here for over 50 years. This is a place for fun. All right, I can't overstate how important it is for everyone to have fun. This is a place where families bring their children. Don't endanger families. Come here and have some fun. And settle your grievances elsewhere. Settle your grievances where it's not going to impact 2 million other people that are here.